Hey, you are now on to weeks 20 through 21, electricity. There are many learning targets, but they're not terribly hard. So there are a handful of assignments and then things you need to turn in, but I wouldn't be too overwhelmed. I will do this folder in lots of videos so we can take it in chunks. First learning target says, I will learn to investigate and explain that electrical energy can be transformed into heat, light, and sound energy, as well as the energy of motion. Basically what that means is you take electricity and you use it to get light from a lamp. You take electricity and you use it to get heat from a heater. You take electricity and you use it to get sound from your computer speakers. You take electricity and you can ride bumper cars or something like that. So it can turn into other types of energy. And you're going to turn something in to show me you know that. You're going to learn to investigate and explain that an electrically charged object can attract an uncharged object and can either attract or repel another charged object without any contact between the objects. This one's a little trickier, but you have a couple textbook lessons and then a pretty fun drawing that you get to turn in for that. Next one, I will learn to investigate and illustrate the fact that the flow of electricity requires a closed circuit or a complete loop. This one's a cool diagram you can turn in. I will learn to identify and classify materials that conduct electricity and materials that do not. I'll know that I'm successful when I submit my conductor and insulator quiz. Hey, that was number 4. I submit my picture for how charges behave assignment. I add a post to the Can You Make One forum. I submit a labeled circuit, and I submit What Can Electricity Be quiz. So let's click into the folder. We come up here and click on this little hyperlink. It opens the folder. From within the folder, we start our work. I believe the first thing is a textbook lesson, so you're going to right-click, open in a new tab. You've got the lesson, and sometimes check down here. Sometimes I have a link to the notes that you should download, so click here to download the notes, open in a new tab. And there's nothing here, but here are all the files you need. Let's go back and see where we are. Unit 5, Lesson 3. Unit 5, Lesson 3. So you click on it. It's Chrome, so it should go to the bottom. Yep, there it is. Give it a second. Once that goes away, click it, and that should pop right open. Remember, inside the notes, you can type onto the screen, the notes onto your paper. It's up to you. Ooh, it's thinking about it. Once that opens up, we'll take a look. The notes help you finish the projects. The notes correlate and go right along with the projects that you have to turn in later. While that's thinking, I'm going to come over here and log in. It's taken too long for me. Remember, student 5 is your password. Click remember me or remember the school. So you don't have to remember to click in all the United States, Florida, Volusia County schools. The only thing that is tricky is you do have to click spacebar and then backspace in the password. If it remembered it for you, then click login. Hey, look what popped up on the other screen. We've got our notes. It's also important to enable editing at the top so you can edit the document. And you're just writing little facts you learn in the lesson about static electricity, protons, neutrons, nucleus, etc. You come down here and there's the rest. You have extra space if you find other stuff that don't fit into these categories. I did put my own notes in here too, the things I thought were important that I didn't want you to miss, like that induction is not, 2 objects not touching, and conduction, they actually touch. So that's important. If I've put it there, it means I don't want you to forget it. Minimize. Also, you can use any of these notes on quizzes too, so keep that in mind. We've logged in. Let's go back to the actual lesson. Come down here and click Next. You're going to click on the buttons in the order that they appear. You've got Unit 5, Forms of Energy, and then the play button next to the Lesson 3. Unit 5, Lesson 3. What is electricity? Here's the question that you're going to have to answer on the next screen. Keep this in mind as you go through the lesson. What may happen when you bring an object with a large buildup of charges near an object with no charge or opposite charge? You go through all of these slides before you click this button right here. And then you have to type in your answer. This is worth a grade. This question shows up in your lesson, so it shouldn't be too tricky for you to answer. They do talk about the answer in the lesson. They even ask you this question in the lesson. When you're done with that textbook lesson, you've got Unit 5, Lesson 4. You should not need to log in. There is no notes you can see. Click Next. If you've already logged in and you didn't turn your computer off, it should stay logged in and you didn't X out of the browser. That's the other thing. Click Unit 5, Lesson 4. It's a virtual lab. Cool. Let's see. How do electric charges interact? I want to see this one. What is this lesson? Oh, yeah. So you get to click and drag this positively charged particle onto the line, I guess, and you get to give that a charge, basically. I remember doing this one. And you have to see whether, if it has a negative charge, how the positive charge reacts to it. If it has no charge and it's 0, how does this positive charge react to it? And then if this has a positive charge, how does this positive charge react to it? I like this one. This will help you with the project that's coming up, so pay attention, and if you have questions, write me and ask. Next, the question says, in which cases did the objects attract each other in this investigation? In which cases did they repel? So you click that once you're done with the whole entire lesson, and you can type in your answer right there for a grade. You've got 2 textbook lessons and then a study jams. Let's see the study jams real quick. Open in a new tab. Same thing, you've done this before. Remember, you can click here to have it viewed in another window. You're going to play the video, and then when the video is done, click X to close, and you can click Test Yourself. These questions show up again, so you want to take them seriously and answer them, because as you go to the very end and then past 7, it shows you if you got them right or wrong. You want to know if you got them right or wrong because they show up, and you want to know the answers to them because these questions here are worth a grade. So do a good job, please. All right, I believe that's it for right now. If you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, you can contact me using these or email or my Google Voice number. Good luck.